I've heard the phrase "it's a boring watch" many times used on the Black Bay 58 and the Rolex Submariner. It's two watches that I always hear. Well, it's a good watch. It's just a boring watch, and I really never really got it what they meant. It took me a while to get it. I think I finally got it. There's a watch that made me realize. To me, they were just they were good watches and interesting enough. So I never thought it was a boring watch. I didn't understand what the concept meant. I think now I do. Now, today, right now, I'm going to show you guys a watch that I'm wearing at this moment, and this is a Universal Genève. It's from the 50s, so it's square shaped, 30 by 30. It's got a caliber 139, and this watch has 20 millimeter lugs, which is pretty interesting because most dress watches from that time would have been 18 millimeters. So to me, this is an interesting watch. Mainly because I don't know where it came from. It's from the early 50s. Going off the caliber, I know just about what when it's from. And to me, this is an interesting watch because I wear this watch, I have this watch, and I'm always making up stories in my mind. I don't know where it came from, so I don't know the story behind it, which means I always have a story for it. I'm always imagining that maybe this watch lived in New York, maybe it lived in a ranch in Idaho, maybe it lived in Paris, or maybe it was a writer's, maybe it was they gave it to somebody and he never wore it. I can have a million ideas. I could be sitting in a lobby in LA thinking, man, I wonder if this watch was here 20 years ago or 50 years ago, or, who it belonged to. Did it belong to somebody that had a lot of money, a lot of watches? Was this the only watch that person had? So to me, that's an interesting watch because there's a lot that I'm thinking about this watch. There's never, I don't know the story, so I don't even know how it got to Tucson, so I'm always thinking, I wonder how it got to Tucson. Did somebody buy it and sell it here? Did somebody die here and they gave it away? Or it's just an interesting watch. To me, that's what made interesting. Interesting is vintage pieces that I would make up a story to them. And then like a fun watch would be something like this. Something that was not a boring watch would be something like this chronograph. It's a Cemex. It has a Valjoux 7750. It's got a UFO type case. The colors, it's olive green with yellow. It's a 44 millimeter watch, so it's kind of a big watch that's just like a fun piece. I don't think I would wear this to a wedding or a funeral or a fancy place, but it's just a fun watch that's just a fun watch. There's people that would wear this watch every day, but I don't. This couldn't be my everyday watch. It's not something that I would wear every day. But I do have the Black Bay 58, which is one of the watches that's always called boring, and I don't think it's ever been called boring in an offensive way. It's just boring. It's a safe watch. It's got perfect proportions to the watch and the case and the dial, and everything is just right. If you were to have to draw a diver's watch, you would draw something like this, or the Rolex Submariner. So this is what they call a boring watch, and I didn't get it until I got this watch, and this is the Breitling Super Ocean 42. Now I get it. Now this is really an interesting watch. When I'm wearing it, they're both the same watch. Basically, they're divers watches they're really close in size, 3 millimeters off. They serve the same purpose pretty much. You could wear them however you want, but there is a difference. There's a reason why the Breitling is never boring. I'm driving with this watch and I look to the side and I see it at a different angle. I see the emblem. I walk in a movie theater and I can the lume is really bright. The numerals are really big and bold. It's only got the 6, 9, and 12, which means it's missing the 3, and it makes it look like if it's not correct, but it is, because that's where the date's at. And then it's got a little tiny date window where a big old 3 would have been. It's got big crown guards. Even the back is simple, but good looking. The clasp has a really nice clasp that you can that has micro adjustments on the clasp too. I forget how to do it because I don't really use that too much, but I know it's got micro adjustments. it's not a boring watch. I get what they mean by a boring watch, and the Rolex Submariner is even more sterile than the Black B58. It's only got the two colors, just the black and the stainless steel, pretty much. And this one's got the stainless steel, the gold color, a little bit of red. So I think now I get it. Now I get it why they call this a boring watch. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good watch. You can wear this watch doing anything you want. You can go to a wedding with this watch. You could go to a fancy dinner with this watch. You could. It's not gonna look at a place mowing a lawn or doing some carpentry work or playing golf or tennis or diving or whatever you do with this watch. It always looks good. The Black B58. There's nothing wrong with it. Now I don't know if I could wear the Breitling to a fancy dinner. I don't think it would look good with a tuxedo, by no means. I would probably not wear it to a funeral either, or maybe not even a wedding, depending on how fancy it is. So it is an interesting watch, but it's not a safe watch like the Black B58. So I think that's what they mean. Now I finally got it. Now I get what it means. To me, interesting used to mean vintage pieces that had a story. Now to me, this Breitling 42 Super Ocean just really, it's eye catching. I think that's the word that would describe this watch to me. It's just eye catching. And I'm driving and I look to my side and I see it and it's, oh my God, and it's just different angles at different times of the day, early in the morning, middle of the day, or when the sun's going down, it looks a little bit different. The lume's already bright and there's still daylight and I can see the lume is already popping out. The bezel is just, really good to look at, the numerals and stuff like that. So I think I finally got it.